Cyclospora is all over the news. And oddly enough, it is in the news so much that now I even know how to say it. When we first started realizing that this was spreading all over the United States, I don't know about you, but the only one thing I know for sure is that I do not want it. And the real problem here is that nobody really knows how to avoid it because nobody really knows where it's coming from precisely. And from what I can gather from listening to various news sources and professionals about this, is that it's not any one single source. It could be multiple sources. So what does a normal person like me or you do in this situation to try to protect ourselves? So that's what I was going to talk to you today about in this video. I have personally implemented 3 rules in my life to try to protect myself, protect my family from this. Maybe we'll still end up getting it. I hope not. But I think that these 3 rules are going to significantly reduce my chances, and that's about all I can do. As for my 3 rules that I am personally implementing in my own life, rule number 1, I am not avoiding vegetables and fruits. I think that my body desperately needs those. My body needs the nutrition from those foods. I do not plan to cut them out. Rule number 2, when I do buy my fresh fruits and vegetables, I'm going to bring them home and I'm going to be extra diligent to make sure that I'm washing them well, at least under running water and potentially even with a vinegar water solution. And then of course, always buying my produce whole heads of lettuce and whole other fruits and vegetables and avoiding the bagged or pre-cut varieties. Rule number 3. Not eating at restaurants because not that there's anything necessarily wrong with restaurants. I just can't trust hygiene. I feel like hygiene is not that great at a lot of restaurants. It's harder to control. And I personally just don't want to take that risk. So I'm eating at home until this is over. Let me go ahead and show you my favorite recipe for when I'm sick, because if by some chance, even following these 3 rules, I wind up sick, this is what I plan to eat. It's very bland, but it is the perfect thing, and it's the thing that I make ever since I started making it years ago. Whenever I'm sick, this is the only thing that I make in this house because chicken noodle soup is too complicated. I know Americans go straight to chicken noodle soup. That is the go-to for America. But simply put, when you don't feel good, the last thing you want to do is be chopping up a bunch of ingredients and dealing with a raw chicken and all of that. Either that or you're going to end up with too much sodium from using like a bunch of processed, soups or something like that. So this recipe is 100% whole, natural, unprocessed ingredients. But specifically, this one food is known to be able to balance the body, and it's extremely nutrient dense because I guess if you get this Cyclospora, because it's bad diarrhea, effectively you're having a hard time keeping nutrients in your body, and so you're losing nutrients and you're losing fluid. And so this dish actually is very nutrient dense, and it's also very fluid dense. And I used this dish in the past whenever I got migraines. I used to get really bad, nasty migraines, and I would get so sick. Nothing would stay in my stomach except for this food. And so I can just about guarantee you've never heard of it. And that is Kitchdi. It's easy to make. It's actually super easy. It's hands off. You just put it, set it and forget it. It's only got a few basic ingredients. It's very mild and easy on digestion. I think if anything has a chance of staying in your belly, it is this. Because in my own personal experience, anytime I have had anything with my stomach, be it terrible nausea from migraines or any other stomach bug, this food has saved me over and over. And so I actually wanted to show you guys this type of lentil, but I just realized I am almost out. So I got to go to the store and get some more, because this is one thing I cannot do without in my house. And if you're sitting there thinking, I've never heard of this lentil before, it's going to end up going in the garbage because I don't know what else I can do with this. I use it for Kitchdi. That was where I started with this, is I started using it for that, but then I found out it has so many other uses. I use this to make a delicious high protein mac and cheese that absolutely rivals the taste and texture of Velveeta. And also gravies. I use this in gravies. I use this to thicken soup. I also cook this into my rice just to add a little bit of extra protein for basically pennies. This does not taste like the typical lentils, the little brown ones or green ones that you typically buy. I've just pulled up the AI overview on Kitchdi. So it provides exceptional health benefits, offering complete protein, easy digestion, and blood sugar control. This is a traditional one-pot meal that combines rice and lentils to deliver a balanced mix of macro and micronutrients that nourish the body without straining the stomach. Because every single time I have been sick, it just makes me feel so much better. It just does so much more justice for me than chicken noodle soup. So I want to make sure that I share it. Plus, it's just simpler to make. I mean, when I get sick, I don't have anyone to make me anything. So this is what I make because it's super easy. And as you can see here, it's a complete protein source. It's easy on digestion, and it's anti-inflammatory. And those are the things that are important when you are sick. So the method that I'm going to show you is using my Instant Pot. That is my preferred method. If you have an Instant Pot, that's the way I recommend making it. If you do not have an Instant Pot, that's fine. Just throw everything into a pot on the stove. The only thing that might really change is the amount of water. So I would just add some water and keep an eye on it and add more water as it cooks. It should be cooked to a porridge-like consistency, which I will show you at the end of this recipe. You'll be able to see what it looks like. And the carrots and everything should be very soft. Okay guys, so to make our Kitchdi, it's very simple. I'm going to start out with some basmati rice. This is the diabetic basmati rice. You do not have to use this exact product. Any rice will do. I do recommend either a long grain rice or basmati rice, but ultimately, whatever you have is totally fine. Keeping in mind, you might have to adjust the amount of water. And then so I've got a half a cup of the rice, and then I'm going to put another half cup of this mung dal. It's a vegetarian form of protein. I'll put the link in the description for Amazon, but I do buy this from my Indian grocer. So if you have an Indian grocer in your neighborhood, you can find it there. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse these because this is a natural product. It does have a little bit of dust and debris that needs to be rinsed, as well as some starches on the rice and everything. So I just rinse it 3 times is the magic number. After you've rinsed these and drained these 3 times, I will go ahead and put water the 4th time just so that you can see. But the 4th time it is clear and there won't be any more cloudiness. So then it is good to cook. So I'm just going to go ahead and drain these off, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the Instant Pot. I want to have some vegetables in my Kitchdi, so the next thing I'm going to do is to cut up this ginormous carrot. This is about the size of 2 to 3 normal size carrots, so if you have smaller or regular size carrots, then grab at least 2 to 3 of them. I'm going to put these tops as well as the skins that I'm about to take off of the carrot, that outer layer. I'm going to put all of that into my stock bag, and then later on I will use these vegetable remnants to create a delicious veggie broth. All right, so my carrots are peeled and diced up. I'm going to add all this into the Instant Pot. Here is my drained and rinsed half cup of rice and half cup of mung dal. And then I'm just going to add all of that carrot in, along with 4 cups of water. Here I have 2 cups, followed by another 2 cups. So that's 4 cups total. And then this is about maybe a little less than a teaspoon of salt, but add salt to taste because I'm on a low sodium diet. So that might not be enough for you. This is about a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric and 1.5 heaping teaspoons of coriander powder. I buy this from my Indian grocer. here in Houston, but if you don't have an Indian grocer, I'll try to find that. I bet it's available on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. Coriander does not have a strong flavor. In fact, it's really mild. And you can buy this from any grocery store. And then you're just going to mix it all up. It's easy as that. We're going to put the lid on the Instant Pot, set it for high pressure for 9 minutes, and then allow an additional 10 minutes of natural pressure release at the end. So after the cook time and the natural pressure release have finished, and I open my Instant Pot, this is what I have. I'm just going to give it a good mix, and that will kind of break down the texture a little bit more and make it into like a porridge-like consistency. And it will look like this. Kind of the texture, the closest thing I know how to describe it would be almost like a risotto. It is real similar to oatmeal also, but this is a savory dish as opposed to like a sweet dish. And this is just perfect for when you're sick. It's just so easy to make. It's so nourishing. It has everything you need in it, and it's very easy for your body to process when you're not feeling well. And so I am not a doctor. I am a regular person talking to you from my kitchen, okay? But as for myself, this is what I'm planning to do. These are the rules I'm planning to follow to keep myself safe. And should I get sick, this is the recipe that I plan on pulling out, because it is a lifesaver. So I hope that this can maybe help somebody. Let me know, if you try this recipe with Cyclospora, leave it in the comments. Let people know, how do you feel? Is it working well for you? Because I really think that it probably will. I think that it probably has the best chance of helping you to get through this.